The writing is on the wall. War is here. China wants Taiwan and is ready to destroy half the world if it needs to. The United States must prevent that from happening, and it knows just how to. By building a new class of weapons that have never been seen before, but draws inspiration from the drones in Ukraine, which have proven mighty capable of giving a world power something to run from. But China isn't sitting idle either. The country is preparing for war. When motivational quotes are put aside, the world remembers that weapons are the only way to win a war. China is therefore building an entire arsenal of weapons capable of taking on the most powerful military forces in the world, including the United States Navy. New ship-launched hypersonic weapons, laser-directed energy weapons, surface warships, submarines, and so on are all taking shape in yards all across China. Strategic minds are also already mapping out and testing how exactly to strike Taiwan and win the war. The most recent test happened just a few months ago. It came just after the inauguration of Taiwan's new president, William Lai. China had previously labeled Mr. Lai a separatist and troublemaker over remarks he made in the past supporting Taiwanese independence. In his inauguration speech, Mr. Lai called on China to stop threatening the island nation and accept the existence of its democracy. 3 days later, China threatened the island nation and did not accept the existence of its democracy. China's threat came in the form of a 2-day military exercise around Taiwan. This wasn't the first drill China would conduct around Taiwan, but this one was different. This drill simulated a full-blown war. Not blockading, not surveilling. A full-blown, all-out war. This is deeply concerning. In not too long, these simulations might just become reality, and Taiwan might be hit by the full force of China's military power. Connected by water, China and Taiwan might soon be having an explosive conversation, where words aren't used, but naval military assets. For this reason, China is heavily fortifying its navy with everything from new missiles to new surface ships, and perhaps most notoriously, new submarines. China already has one of the most powerful submarine fleets on the planet. To China, submarine power is a crucial component of its naval modernization and expansion, which aims to challenge the U.S. Navy's dominance in the Indo-Pacific region and protect China's interests and sovereignty. China has both a nuclear-powered submarine fleet and a robust diesel-electric submarine fleet, which are constantly being upgraded and enlarged with new designs and technologies. The fleet includes 6 SSBNs armed with the nuclear-capable JL-2 SLBMs, 6 SSNs armed with torpedoes and conventional missiles, and then 46 SSKs, which are simply diesel-powered attack submarines used for coastal defense, anti-submarine warfare, and special operations. But China isn't stopping here. In addition to these submarines, the country is developing new classes of submarines that will enhance its Navy's capabilities and pose a greater threat to the U.S. These new submarine classes include 1. The Type 096 SSBN, which is expected to carry the JL-3 SLBM, a longer range and more accurate missile that can target the continental U.S. from the South China Sea. 2. The Type 095 SSN, which is expected to have improved stealth, speed, endurance, and firepower, and also to carry vertical launch tubes for cruise missiles. 3. The Type 039B SSK, which is expected to feature air-independent propulsion technology that allows submarines to operate underwater for longer periods without surfacing or snorkeling. Combine these submarines with a new fleet already in the works, and the scale of China's preparation measures really begins to show. But for every Chinese measure, the U.S. has a single powerful, possibly game-changing countermeasure. To counter China's growing arsenal, the U.S. has summoned the greatest designer in history: nature. A manta ray is an animal whose body shape is extremely efficient for swimming underwater, allowing the massive sea creature to glide through the water with slow, graceful flaps of its wing-like fins. The gliding method allows them to conserve energy and maximize movement efficiency. This has worked so well for rays that they have remained relatively unchanged for millions of years. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, the core research and development agency of the U.S. Department of Defense responsible for the development of revolutionary technologies for use by the military, has studied this animal to take advantage of its ease in the seas. Replacing wing flaps with energy-efficient propellers, DARPA is building a new class of long-duration, long-range, payload-capable, Manta Ray-inspired sea drones capable of persistent operations in dynamic maritime environments. This new class of sea drones is also called Manta Ray. The effectiveness of sea drones in actual conflict has been impressively displayed in the war in Ukraine, and so millions of dollars in investments are going towards this cause in the United States. The development of the Manta Ray began in 2020 when DARPA kicked off the program with the thought of creating a large underwater drone that can operate independently of manned vessels and ports once underway. DARPA awarded contracts to Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and PacMar Technologies to work on the program. The first phase of the program saw all three companies design and conduct preliminary testing on novel approaches to core components of the Manta Ray, including energy management, UUV reliability, biofouling and corrosion control, navigation, and undersea obstacle avoidance, among other areas that directly enable long-endurance missions. However, in an interesting turn of events, Lockheed Martin was out of the running by the end of this phase. In 2021, only Northrop Grumman and PacMar Technologies made it to the second phase. In the second phase, the two selected companies must each develop full-scale prototype Manta vehicles. Their vehicles must include threat detection, classification, and communications capabilities, high-efficiency propulsion systems, and the ability to withstand the rigors of the undersea. All of these while remaining completely autonomous or requiring little human interaction to achieve its mission goals. Northrop Grumman has made tremendous progress in this cause. The company has not only built a full-scale Manta Ray prototype, but has also completed full-scale in-water testing. The testing took place off the coast of Southern California in February and March 2024. Testing demonstrated at-sea hydrodynamic performance, including submerged operations using all the vehicle's modes of propulsion and steering, buoyancy, propellers, and control surfaces. Northrop also proved the vehicle's impressive modularity. The company shipped the prototype in subsections from the build location in Maryland to its test location in California. This alone demonstrated Northrop Grumman's plans of a Manta Ray that's easy to ship, assemble, and deploy wherever the vehicle may be needed anywhere on the planet, without taking up valuable real estate inside ships, submarines, or other naval facilities that could deploy it. Then once deployed, the vehicle uses efficient, buoyancy-driven gliding to move through the water, as it did in the recent test. A highly successful test, too, that enabled Northrop Grumman to assess the most crucial subsystems to make the Manta Ray function as designed. The sea drone will dive deeper than any submarine on the planet, down to the ocean floor. Here, it does another first. It harvests energy directly from the sea, ensuring that it never runs out of power. In a 2022 DARPA video, the vehicle achieved this by extending what appears to be a retractable wave energy harvesting device that converts the movement of water into electricity. So, unless the impossible happens and all the water in the world disappears, the Manta Ray could, in theory, operate forever. As it recharges, the vehicle hibernates with nearly no detectable electromagnetic emissions that could reveal its presence to enemy vehicles. This radio silence, the impressive diving depths, and overall low observability design give the Manta Ray an unrivaled level of stealth, even when up against some of the stealthiest submarines in the world. Combined with a versatile weapons bay and ultra-quiet, ultra-sensitive hydrophones, this sea drone can be employed for command, control, and communications tasks, strike missions, and even surveillance. With more upgrades, it could grow larger into anything it needs to be, like an actual Manta Ray. It would be, however, incomplete to discuss this growth of DARPA's Manta Ray into a go-to weapon without discussing the impact of sea drones in the Ukraine war. Sea drones are generally small, unmanned vessels that operate on or below the water's surface. They come in all shapes and sizes and can be used for a variety of tasks, from environmental monitoring to clearing mines, surveillance to detonating near targets in kamikaze attacks, or firing at targets like a mobile launcher. This versatility has seen them grow in use in the war in Ukraine, particularly on the Ukraine side, which has no powerful navy but now combats one of the most powerful navies in the world. Ukraine has reportedly executed at least 13 attacks with sea drones, many of them successful. The attacks have come with low cost, ease of use, and yet lethal strikes that have eliminated million-dollar military assets on the Russian side. China might soon suffer this same fate as the US builds its own new revolutionary sea drone, the weapon of the hour, the Manta Ray. The Manta Ray is a new class of sea drones built to respond to the increasingly daring threats of the Chinese Navy. Should the day come when China makes true to its promise to set sail to Taiwan and take over the island, the Manta Ray might just be lurking deep in the waters, ready to change their mind. To support this war-preventing sea drone, the US Navy wants you to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. So do that now, and thanks for watching.